Barenaked, Barenaked, Barenaked. ABCs. Welcome to the Barenaked ABCs, where we discuss every single Barenaked Ladies song from 7 to Y. And joining me tonight, I have Heidi. Thank you for joining me.
So, what's going on? What's happening?
Well, don't worry. We have a guest, but you got to be patient. I'll introduce them. They always get introduced last. Joining us tonight from It's All Been Done, a Barenaked Ladies podcast, we have Saker.
Hi, how's it going?
Wonderful.
Good. Oh, you do the puns in the episode. I just do them in the episode description, but you do the gotta be patient right there on Front Street, huh?
Oh, wherever I can get a pun in, I always try to.
Okay, all right. I'll deal with it for the next 40 minutes. It's fine.
Okay. I love doing puns, so it's got to be in there.
Yeah. Okay. You're a dad, right?
I am a dad. I am.
Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense.
So I have the right to do it, but I just ask, be patient with me.
Can you use the same one twice? Is that even legal? It's barely. I mean.
There's only so many ways you can use be patient. So
That's true. I do feel like you are a mad scientist, and I perhaps am your gotta be patient. But
nice
that's nothing. No, it's truly that's meaningless. It's gibberish. The thing I just said.
Well, but Betsy's not here right now, so she can't sit there and groan about all the wonderful puns going back and forth. So.
It's all right.
That's when I would tell her to be patient. But
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely. Use it for a third time. I think that works. It works better.
Yeah.
It's the comedy rule of threes.
It is.
Yeah.
And then if I really push it, it gets there. It's okay by 7, but I don't want to push it in between.
It becomes one of those things where, people just tune out, and by the time they tune back in, they're like, oh, he's still doing it. Yeah, I guess that is kind of funny. Okay, all right. Speaking of tuning out, you guys, are you done? I'm not tuning in, so I apologize in advance. Are you done with all the way through In Flight, or are you working on In Flight now?
Well, we're working. We've done all the early ones. We're working on In Flight, and now my brain is freezing up on the one beforehand.
Detour de Force?
Yes.
Okay, so why am I doing Gotta Be Patient? Give me some explanation for why this song is happening to me specifically.
Well, one, I know that you guys are still doing your show, but this is a song I know you guys haven't covered because it's not on either of those two albums.
I mean, we're watching Mr. Bean at this point. We've given up on Barenaked Ladies. That's old hat to us.
Well, you did Night Photographs last week, I think it was.
We did do Night Photographs. I'm lying to you, straight to your face. I'm sorry.
I keep up on your show.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. You're one of our 10 listeners, and I appreciate you, man.
I keep going back. Whenever we've finished a song, I'm finally going back and catching up on the ones that
I will get. At least like 6 months ago, I used to get on Blame It On Me. I'm like, we recorded that in 2018. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, man. Am I allowed to say fuck? Can I say fuck?
Pre-COVID.
I know. Yeah. Oh yeah. My brain has changed chemistry entirely. But I appreciate you listening.
Well, that's wonderful. So yes, we're talking about this because there were some songs that came out after I had already come up with our wonderful list.
Okay, got it.
So there were a few like this one, Diamonds, that they did with Kim Mitchell that we're kind of splicing into the mix as we go in the reverse alphabetical order now.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, got it. Do you feel like your hubris, really damned you? At some point, do you feel like, oh yeah, of course they were going to release new music, and I decided to do the ABCs. At what point did you feel like I did a dumb thing?
Right off, because as soon as I came up with the list, within the first week, they decided to release fake nudes. And so I was like, oh, crap, we already have a 2020. I got to fit that in somehow.
Yeah, bad news. Oh, that's a bummer. God,
they went and released 2 more albums since then.
3 albums. I'd say probably a 6th of which are good. I'm sorry. I don't mean to impugn the Barenaked Ladies on your Barenaked Ladies podcast, but
We are of a very similar mind on that, I will say.
Okay, thank God. All right, good deal.
It's interesting, though, because the ones that I'm not enjoying are the ones that you guys are enjoying a little bit more. So it's really cool listening to you talk about that.
Okay. I feel like even in our podcast alone, Evan and I have completely different takes on the stuff that we enjoy. So it's fine. It's all good. Everybody's got different. There's a Barenaked in there for everyone, right? Everybody loves something different. Good for them.
That's the wonderful thing about them doing so many different things and different tastes.
Yeah, that's the thing about a shotgun blast is like nobody's going to like all 12 songs. Maybe you'll like one of them and good for you. Congrats. I like that.
And speaking of that, like, if you haven't heard this song before, here is a quick snippet.
But I gotta be patient, so let's enjoy this combination. I just wanna feel your love, cause Instagram is not enough for me. So I gotta be patient, let's enjoy this combination.
This is different. This is not something that they typically do.
Yeah, this is very different. This is a very different song.
I would say that this is much more along Michael Bublé's type of direction, and they kind of jumped in.
Yes, I did not know that this was a Michael Bublé song. I was very surprised when I brought it up on YouTube, and he was the first name. It's on his YouTube channel, right? Like it's a Michael Bublé song.
Yes.
Okay.
So what he said when he did interviews around this is he said that I couldn't get the song out of my head. And the more I thought about it, and despite the difficulties of putting it together, because this was during COVID times,
sure,
with everyone isolating at home, I went for it. I reached out to the Barenaked Ladies and Sofia, who agreed to come on board. The bilingual aspect, along with the song's message, was especially appealing since we are all in this together. I'm reminded while going back and forth in English and Spanish with my kids daily. Seems like one big language.
Okay, so his household is bilingual.
It sounds like they. I mean, yes, his wife is from Argentina, so I should have been like, oh yeah, they're bilingual.
Sure, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, man, it was just a wild time in general for people trying to release new music. But the Barenaked Ladies, I mean, you want to reach out to somebody. They're what were the hell were they called again? What were they doing? Selfie cam jams. Like,
yes,
they had it down pat because like those are professional. Those look great and sound great. And so I'm
this was before that though.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
This is where they were honing their skills for the selfie cam jams? Wow.
It was.
Okay.
So this was released on April 27th in 2020, which I think BNL had only done 9 selfie cam jam at that point.
Okay. It's, man, April 2020 is such a weird time for so many reasons, but especially this, when like it still kind of had COVID quarantine, still kind of had the feel of a sleepover where we were all like, all we got to do is get through it, guys. Like, okay, it's a month. Like, we could do this for a couple months. Like, no big. We had it all figured out in April 2020. And boy, how do you feel like this song aged? Do you have a feeling about that? Or do you not really care about, like, I don't know.
I would say that it aged all right. Like, it reminds me of that time, but it reminds me of that time in a good way.
Sure. Sure. It was the time when we were all still picking up hobbies and doing all the fun stuff that there was to do in COVID before this month ended, and when we went into May and June and we were all like, oh no, this sucks. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I was totally unproductive during COVID, like during the shutdown. But this was during that positive time when I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I can make it. I'm almost there. I can do this.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It's this. I don't feel like it aged badly either, but I also like it's not like, hey, things are good. We're doing fine. But it's also like, this song is so stuck in time. Like, I want to see my friends. Instagram is not enough. And it's like, Yeah, okay. I don't know. It just feels like, I know this was a one-off, like a fun little thing they were doing, but it's already so irrelevant. It's an interesting song. It's a good song. But in fucking 5 years, Instagram won't exist anymore. We'll be on Zip Zorp and like everybody will be, but like, I don't know. This song is so stuck. So stuck in. Jane is still going to be relevant in 30 years. Yeah. But this song won't.
But they also didn't write this.
So let's talk about Homa's version of this. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. I actually own Homa's version of this. So this is the Homa's version that you were mentioning.
Number 6. I just want to see my friends. I want to walk the streets again. But I gotta be patient. Let's enjoy this combination. I just want to feel your love. Cause Instagram is not enough for me. So I gotta be patient. Let's enjoy this combination.
Because this song, Michael Buble and BNL's version and Sofia Reyes' version brought me to go and I always want to hear the original to give it a chance. And I was like,
right.
Like, we'll talk a little bit about what that's about, but it brought me to them. And then the more I listened to what they had released at that point, I was like, I really like this.
Oh, did you go and listen to their other music as well?
I did. They actually have a whole album that's out.
Nice.
But I downloaded a bunch of singles off from iTunes.
Yeah.
And actually I wanted to play one of them. Hold on one second if I can. This is the other song by them that I own. I actually own 2 other songs. And this is called In the End. All of their songs are, of course, about the combination. They wrote it during the time that they were shut down. So that was their major focus at that time. They do have an album out that has other songs on it that don't have a relation to it. But this is another one that's kind of in there. And it has a very different feel, yeah.
Anyway, I know that I have to stay, but in the end, I want to travel like Han Solo. I want to catch a plane to Disneyland. I really miss when we used to get out, but in the end, I just want to go to Apollo. I want to get drunk with my best friends. I really miss when we used to get out, but in the end, I really miss my mom.
So I mean, I have a lot to say about Homa and those other songs, but I do very quickly want to talk about, you don't do editing. You do things in Monitor that is so smart. But I mean, I just put it in all afterwards, but I did get a view of your screen. And I do want to know what Godzilla 2 is on your desktop. It seems to be a movie. Please tell me it's the rip of the Matthew Broderick Godzilla 2000 movie.
No, it's not.
Is it?
Actually a piece of my movie that I created that I just released in theater.
Bowling for Alderaan. Now in theaters, in all reputable theaters.
In 2.
In 2 reputable. No, those are the only reputable ones, my friend. All right, and then also alphabet.jpg, I assume, is just to remind you what the order of the letters are. Yes. Just in case you... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you. I'm really impressed. You've been committing it to memory. That rules. Good on you. Homa, I did not realize, were they like known before COVID? Because it seems like they're really capitalizing on that smart business practice.
No, they actually didn't exist before
Holy
COVID.
Shit. Okay. That's wild. So COVID, they saw an opportunity. That is a smart businessman. So they were like, let's make some fun COVID songs.
Well, yeah. So there are actually 3 people that were part of 3 different bands. It's Klaus Stronk. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Who was the trumpet player for Buhos and also a voice actor. There's Guillaume Bolto. Who is the trombone player and singer in Dr. Pratt's, and Ray Bennett, who is the bass player for Buhos and Nilmoner.
Okay. All right.
And they all live together in a flat.
Oh, got it.
An example. district of Barcelona. And so they came together just before the pandemic. They'd only been living together for a few months. And then like the pandemic hit and they had to stay home. So they're like, oh, let's just play this. And after a couple of different songs, it really took off when they were putting it up on Instagram. So they're like, we should like do something more professional with this.
Smart. Sorry, can you tell me the name of the part of Barcelona that they lived in one more time?
Example.
See, I think that it just didn't fill in, and you're just reading the word example. Is that possible? Are you thinking that that's a real place?
No, it's a real place.Eixample.
Yeah, sorry, dude. That's like 404 error. Town not found. No, but
it's actually got its own Wikipedia page. So.
Okay, all right. I was charmed by how low budget their version of Gotta Be Patient is. Because while Michael Buble and the Barenaked Ladies version sounds to me very, not overproduced, but very produced. Like, I don't want to say soulless because, I don't know. But their version feels like these are three scrappy young dudes doing it for themselves. Like, even the guest verse on it is them holding a phone up to the camera. And, like, and that rule, like, it's so fun. And, like, they knew that this was a song, but it was also kind of a skit. Like, it was a moment in time. We don't need to overproduce this because this is something people are going to consume and share on Facebook and then be done with. Whereas Michael Bublé is like at the end, he gives this real shit-eating, like, little wink and smile to the camera. And I'm like, man, I want to punch Michael Bublé. He seems like an asshole. I'm sure he's great, but I don't know. It just felt, I don't know. Does that make sense? The high production value is weird to me.
It does. And I mean, I think that's because you had mentioned that they had done the selfie cam jams at that point. And the first couple of selfie cam jams were very low key, sure. But they were in separate positions. So I think they had to figure out, like, how do we get this to sync up and match
sure.
up and look good and sound good? Honestly, I think that, like, I don't know for sure, but I think that they're each playing their instruments, and then they send it on to the next person who then records their part while listening, like, through their earphones, so that they can sync it up. And then probably Tyler's the one that starts it, so they have their beat to go with. And then...
That makes sense to me. Yeah, but for some reason, I find those charming too. Maybe it's because the songs aren't about COVID. Maybe that's my hang up to this. Is like, if you're going to make it so temporary and so of a time, you got to make sure that you're not putting so much effort into it that it feels like, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying. Help me. Save me, Tracy. Save me from myself.
No, I think that it does add to the flavor of that time in that they're stuck at home. I think the selfie cam jam works for me just because they are in separate places.
Sure.
Hi, Heidi. Take a breath. Join us in a second.
Oh, is she in a different place? Is Heidi here in the room?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're in the middle of talking about this this song. We've played the two different versions of the song at this point, so I'm guessing you've heard both versions though, Heidi.
I mean, it's not one of my main listens, but yeah, I have listened to both of the versions that you sent, but I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Sega was just saying it's kind of a song of its time, and that the Stay Helmus version kind of has that feel of like of the time because it's in kind of the recording outside, the low production quality because they didn't have a production studio and everything to use. Kind of makes it fit a little bit.
Which I'm okay with that. I mean, a lot of the covers and things that we've, the demos and things like that, live versions, I'm okay with the not studio sound, but you're right. It's definitely about a certain time. You can't, it's not relevant, hopefully, ever again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, COVID still big, still number one winner. But yeah, we're not quarantining anymore, so yeah, you're right. It is kind of irrelevant. Right. Yeah.
I mean, granted, unless we have an apocalypse or something.
Yeah.
You never know.
Knock on wood.
Hey,
I mean, you never know, but I mean, I get it, but it seems like something, honestly, that I would have put on TikTok at the same time.
yes.
Like, I'm just a lonely person.
Yeah.
We're and at least they were able, like, to when they did a lot of the recording separated and bring them together. It definitely showcased a different side of what they can do, but it's tremendously challenging to record in separate areas and put things together, and it's definitely not let's enjoy this confination, though. I hate that.
Yeah, it's a very strange the fact that we have to have a definition for the word at the beginning is very weird.
Yeah. Confination.
Yeah.
Confination.
I like the fact that a Spanish group is teaching us English words.
Yeah, right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the whole I gotta be patient. Like, honestly, now that we're over the hump, and I get it, it's very simple. It's kind of like a kid song in some ways. I want to see my friends, but I gotta be impatient. So just enjoy, be thankful that you're not dead. Let's just stay in our houses and eat bonbons and watch too much Netflix. I get that, but it's kind of sing-songy, and it's kind of like, sing this to your children so they don't freak out that they can't go to things.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, like I said, it's like it's an earworm, and I think you said it too. That's kind of meant for TikTok or meant for Instagram. So like, it doesn't quite have the legs as a real song that it should. And fucking, this is the problem. This is the problem we have on our podcast. I'm sure it's it's like not every song deserves this much talk. No, Tracy, I'm gonna be nice. Nobody gives a shit about either of us, right? Like these are it's stupid to make hour-long episodes about 3-minute songs. We're both doing the wrong thing with our lives, but
this particular song,
yes,
I mean, granted, it's kind of in the contract that we go through every song.
It's in the byline, like every single Barenaked Ladies song.
The timeline, but yeah, there were many. How's the level?
Well, yeah.
We spent how much time on that? How much time did we spend on little tiny songs?
I mean, more time than the song itself was. That's definitely.
Yeah. That was.
But this particular song, I agree with. I agree with Jonah. Is it Jonah?
Yep, Jonah.
That's not,
let me change my my name on here.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not your name. The car.
It's fine. It's good. Is it changed? It's changed. All right, good.
I was like, wait a minute, I didn't think we were meeting with a Jonah today. But I think that in this, this is exactly a TikTok song. It's something to generate, doing something. Hey, we're all feeling the same way. But yeah, it's not really worth much of our time. It's not something to break down and go, oh my gosh, what does he mean by this? And is he talking about Steven and the breakup? Is he talking about,
yeah.
I don't know, romance? Is it a romantic song? We are stuck at home. Be patient about it, suck it up, deal with it, and enjoy being stuck inside your four walls.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. As a teacher, I'm especially not bitter. As a music educator, I'm really not bitter about everything it did to destroy music education in our country. So being patient, in fact, this song really fucking annoys me.
Whoa.
Okay. Tell us for real how you feel.
I'm just like, wait a minute. I get it, but the whole I gotta be patient, enjoy being confined, enjoy this time. Maybe for a few weeks or a month.
That's
I after a while, I don't enjoy my confination.
Yeah. And that's, we were saying earlier when you weren't here, is like, this was the sleepover period of COVID. This was the time when we're all kind of enjoying, like, this is fun.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. The first few weeks, I mean, the very first when we were sent home, I teach at a college, and we were sent home on March 13th. That weekend was St. Patty's Day weekend. And my husband has a yurt in the backyard where he has guys over once a month for scotch and cigars and talk. And we sat out there and we listened to the live stream of the Dropkick Murphys because they weren't allowed to perform in Boston that night. And so they said, screw it, we're just going to do this live for all of our fans. So it was one of my favorite memories is we sat out there. We had no idea what was really going to happen, but we're like, we're just going to, it was like, I think it was, I don't remember what night it was, but it was right after like that weekend. And I was like, this, okay. So we'll get a bunch of stuff done around the house and we'll, play board games and we'll hang out and we'll make more food and we'll start a garden and all of the things. But then you're right. It's the sleepover party time. Then eventually turned into, I'm going to kill everybody in my family if I hear one more person like stomp up the stairs.
Yeah.
And how many people did you have in your house at that time? Like we had our college daughter was home finishing her senior year, a theater major, no less, trying to finish her senior year, her last few months in her room. Our son, who was in 4th grade at the time, in his room. My husband, who travels constantly for work, was in the basement in his office. I was here in this office. It was like, and we didn't even have all of our kids. Oh, one was already grown up and gone. So, but it was like after a while, it's like you go stir crazy. That cabin fever thing is real. So I get it. I think that you're right though too, is that at this point it was only going to be a few weeks.
Right.
2 weeks.
Well, that's the thing is
2 weeks to stop.
This song was written in that first week. So, in terms of like that positive message, what a great positive message to give people. Like we're going to play on a rooftop and we're going to go outside and put it to a happy beat. The one that I played earlier, in the end, like that, even though it's happy, there's a lot more like, I miss this. I miss this. I miss this. I really want this to be done. That was written much later. So you get the feeling that they're kind of sad about it too. I like that B&L or Michael Buble pulled this together and that B&L did it with them because it raised money though. So like the proceeds were supposed to go to Red Cross in Canada and also in Argentina for Michael Buble. B&L decided to put it toward cultural survival, which provides support to indigenous communities worldwide. Sofia Reyes donated her proceedings to various Latin charities. I love the fact that they don't say which charities. Nope. They're not important. They're Mexican.
Charity.
God. I am kind of curious because I'm looking at this now. It is still available. I can buy it on Amazon Music for $1.29. Do you think that Michael Bublé, who is surely still getting the proceeds for this, is still donating it to Red Cross Canada and Argentina, or do you think it's just sort of lining his pockets at this point?
Yeah, we're.
At what point does that agreement end?
My guess is that he is still donating it. Like he seems to be a pretty nice guy.
Okay. I have already said that I was going to punch him in the face. So I'm anti-Buble. That is my take on this podcast.
Anti-Bubble?
I don't know anything about him.
Why do you hate on the Bubble?
Michael Buble, we know you listen. Come on the show.
No, yes.
Michael Bubble, please.
I'd love to see that.
Be done with that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm with you. Yeah, I think the song is nothing special. Love those hand claps. Think the hand claps are great. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge hand clap fan. Which is great, but I love seeing Ty drumming on some pants, I think is what's happening there. But yeah, for the most part, very strange.
Well, should we give some numbers to this?
Tracy, do you mind if I do a bit that I do on my show before we get to the numbers?
I would love that.
Can it be time for Saker's YouTube comment of the week?
It would be wonderful to hear you give a YouTube comment of the week.
Okay. This is a comment from Jingle Jazz 7537, which is only 3 months ago. So we're talking about May of 2024. He comments on this. He says, I've loved BNL since the early 90s. I saw them on BCTV NewsHour. They did a quick live show. I knew they would be a big hit. I love Buble as well. Nice to see how they've grown into mature, well-talented gentlemen. Old, lol. Well done, guys. the lady is a talented babe as well. Who is she? Gives me a tingly feeling I haven't felt in decades. Ew. Boy, did that comment take a fucking turn. So then I went to his page, his YouTube page, and his YouTube page is soundless videos of his cat, and also like closed circuit TV footage of like the post office outside of his house getting broken into. It's real fucking. This guy's a real weirdo. Jingle Jazz 7537. I don't know if I can do a little bit of slander on your podcast. I think you'll get sued instead of me, which is nice.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm not a fan of this guy.
No, Jingle Jazz, you need to come on the show and tell us what you were thinking when you wrote that.
Jingle Jazz, we know you listen. We need you and Buble. Same episode. It's gonna be a blast.
Not Sofia, though. I do not want Sofia on that show. No, she can come on a different show.
Don't put them in the same room. That's a recipe for disaster.
Even if it's a Zoom room, I feel uncomfortable with that.
All right, now we can get to. I'm sorry. Let's get back to your show.
What are we rating? What's the rating again?
Oh, well, the BNL version.
Vaccinations.
How many vaccinations? Okay, yes. Let's get canceled.
How many booster shots?
Let's go for getting canceled. Okay. Vaccinations. How many vaccinations do you give this song, Heidi?
I give this song. This is probably one of my lower ratings ever. I'm gonna give this, because it's for charity, a 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
So 2.5 boosters, which means, oh crap, I'm gonna get it again.
What about you, Saker? How many vaccinations do you give the song?
I think I give this song, I'm going to go 1 vaccination, 4 boosters, which is, of course, 2 boosters is 1 whole vaccination. So that's 3 vaccinations in total. If you're doing the, back of the napkin math at home. Yeah, I'm not going to fuck up your ratings like I did with Fight the Power. This is a 3 out of 5 song.
All right. And this reminds me that life is better now. I would even say that right now, it's a good life, compared to that.
Yeah, that's true.
And we'll talk more about good life next week.
I wonder if they ever considered doing an update, like later. Like, actually, this really sucked. I hate everybody in my family now.
I want to hear that and donate all of that money to mental health and depression.
To domestic abuse victims.
Oh my God, you took that dark. Holy shit. Am
I wrong?
I mean, no. How about foster homes? How many?
Alcoholism.
Donate it to alcoholism? I don't want to do that.
No, AA, whatever.
I like this song. It makes me happy when I'm thinking about it, about a time in my life that I wasn't happy, but it puts me in a really good mood. And so does the original. I feel like Michael Bublé did this because it brought attention to the original, and I'm glad about that. I love both versions. So I'm going to give this a 4.
Wow. No haterade from the Tracy today.
That's high. There were a lot of
really high.
A lot of people in the comments who were like, hey, this is a cover, right? This song is hey, everybody, you should call more attention to Stay Homas. So I'm not sure if he didn't do his due diligence. It is in the description of the video, but I don't know.
They should have announced it instead of putting up what confirmation means.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Cover of.
Yeah, felt a little stolen valor.
Yeah, that's true. I've been listening to, of course, Tales of the Voidfarer. There were 2 episodes, then it disappeared again. Not sure. Hopefully it'll be coming back again.
I don't, man, I'm not the DM. I don't know when we're coming back.
Oh, believe me, I'm on the Discord and I give Nick trouble all the time about that.
I do see that. I always enjoy that. Yeah.
Because my son loves listening to it. So
I'm so glad you guys like it. Yeah. Tales of the Voidfarer, of course, It's All Been Done we're doing second Tuesday of the month. We have no more energy left. So it's on life support. And 2D6 just released an album this month, and so that new album is out there. And I have a new band whose album is also premiering this month. We're called Master Hand. We're a nerdcore nu metal band like Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit. And that should be on Spotify by the end of the month, I think. I hope.
Excellent.
So, very cool.
Saker, so much thank you for coming on.
Saker, it was awesome.
Thanks, y'all. This was fun.
Sorry, I was coming back from an appointment that was very harsh to women.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was a public service announcement. Get a mammogram. Not you. You don't need one. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. I don't judge. But yeah, that was about as fun as getting your boobs squashed in a machine. Oh, wait. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I'll pass the word along.
You. Yay.
But Seika, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was really fun.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets.